Tony Smith, the former Director General of the UK Border Force. Countries across Eastern and Central Europe are facing extreme flooding as Storm Boris wreaks havoc across the continent. More torrential downpours are forecast until at least the end of Monday. At least 5 people have died in Romania, 1 person drowned in Poland, while in Austria a firefighter died tackling the floods there. The rain has mainly hit the eastern part of Romania. Authorities are creating displacement camps and sending emergency aid to those forced to evacuate their homes. In the Czech Republic, 38 locations have declared the highest flood alert. The Czech authorities have pleaded with people to heed calls to evacuate their homes if called to do so. Some parts of Poland and the Czech Republic face the worst flooding in almost 3 decades, and a bridge collapsed in this historic Polish town near the Czech border. Well, these are some of the latest pictures we've had from the Czech army showing their rescue operation. They've been winching people to safety in helicopters in the northeast of the country around Jesenik. The mountainous spa town is totally cut off. Houses have been swept into a raging river. Let's speak to our Prague correspondent, Rob Cameron. Rob, just give us an idea of the damage that's been caused so far.
Well, here in Prague, in the capital, the situation is much calmer now, and I think we've seen the worst of what the rain and the flooding has to offer here in this part of the country. If I just step away, I think you can see just how high the river Vltava is now, but it hasn't burst its banks, and it's not expected to do so. In the other half of the country, the other side of the country, in North Moravia and Silesia, up in Jesenik, as you mentioned there, the Silesian spa town, that's been completely cut off, with not even the fire brigade able to get to those people who didn't heed those calls to leave their homes to evacuate, and instead the army and the police have had to come in with helicopters to winch them to safety. Another town, Krnov, that's 80% of which is now underwater, and now as the waters begin to recede from those towns in North Moravia and Silesia, the extent of the damage is beginning to be clear. We've seen on social media some of the pictures from Jesenik, from Krnov, of houses destroyed and massive amounts of debris left in the streets, and many people, of course, now looking for somewhere to spend the night, looking for warmth, looking for food and looking for water.
How well prepared were the authorities given what was forecast?
I think the consensus is extremely well prepared. This region was very badly hit in 1997 and then in 2002. 1997, North Moravia took the brunt of the flooding. 2002, it was the capital. But since then, so much has improved. They've poured literally €1 billion into flood defences, not just here in Prague, but in other parts of the country as well. The computer modelling that they use to predict the volume of rain that will fall and where that rainwater will flow, what pattern the flooding will follow along these tributaries and into the major rivers. All of that has improved massively over the last 2 decades, and it's given the authorities much more time to prepare and pinpoint and target exactly what they need to do and where they need to do it.
Rob, for the moment, thank you very much. Rob Cameron in Prague. And we have a live page running online on the BBC News website with the latest on that catastrophic flooding that's sweeping through Central Europe, and in which 7 people have died and others are still missing. You'll find that on our website and also on the BBC News app. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned the Houthis in Yemen of a heavy